I'm gonna venture out after the storm. This is the second day after the storm. The address has been ripped down. We still have storm chasers roaming around. Well, I'm gonna start the story from the beginning. But what had happened was, I had kicked off the garden and put in the first batch of work after the girls left. Like I said, I'm dealing with paying attention to everything right now, because after the storm, we were bombarded with storm chasers and news crews for 24 hours. I'm just gonna let your little pit bull loose, huh? Okay. Fine. I can't imagine how mad you'll be if I hit him. But, okay. I see you pit bull owners. I see you. I see you out here in these streets. Trump American streets. Now, if you please, little Miss Tough Love, go and get your nails did. What y'all really want? What y'all really want? I request, you know what? What's the point in offering, what's the point in offering the ability to request certain colors if you're going to give me what color you want me to have? Child, bye. And I'm not going to send them back. Why am I going to pay this? Why am I going to pay to send them back? That's still money out of my pocket when I didn't make the mistake. What did I get? This is more like it though. I'm not mad. I like this better. They hating on that blue color though. I'm not mad. That's a better size. That's a better size. Ooh, you can't do like I did and be courteous and just let. No, you can't. Because privileged people need to be great. And they're free to do so. So why not? Why not? Oh yeah, so I looked at the radar and it looked like we were just going to get a small patch of rain. Looked like it wasn't going to last 15 minutes. But it was a lot of it. So I was like, okay, I see you, Mother Nature. You're going to water the garden for me. I just kicked it off. You know, I just planted some seeds. So that's cute. And I need quite a bit of rain because I didn't, as my mother would say, till the soil. She asked me about my garden. She's like, you gonna do your garden this year? And I was like, yeah. She's like, who gonna till the soil for you? So Mr. thought that was so funny because y'all know my people are so country. She was like, who gonna till the soil for you? So I was like, okay, Mother Nature gonna water for me. So I, made sure I had everything set up that could use some natural rainwater. And I went inside. It still hadn't even so much as drizzled. It was just cloudy out, period. And it wasn't even cloudy all day. It just got cloudy when the rain clouds got closer. So I was running some lines with myself, and I just heard it sound like somebody threw a handful of rocks, just a handful of rocks right at the window. Except it kept constantly throwing, and I was like, what the hell? And so I went up to look outside. Like, it hadn't even rained. I literally thought, I don't know, because even if some kids were playing, they couldn't just keep throwing it like that, right? And I was like, what the hell? So I got up and I looked out the window, and then I was like, is that hail? And of course I knew immediately that it was. What else would it be? And that kind of concerned me, because I'm a Southern Belle. I'm country in the soul. I can adapt to I'm city, on the surface, and I can adapt to a variety of situations and circumstances and class levels. But I know hell is never good, okay? Especially when you're expecting a big storm. As I was saying, what the hell, it just got larger and faster and harder very quickly. As I was saying, with each sentence I spoke. And so, graduated so fast, I just started saying, oh my God, because in my Southern Belle head, I was like, I wasn't in a freak panic in that moment, but I was preparing myself for the freak panic moment, because I was like, if this shit stops suddenly, it's a problem. If you get hell like that and it stops suddenly, you probably about to be in the eye of a tornado in a matter of moments. So I dropped everything and I grabbed my purse. Well, I grabbed what I thought was my purse. If y'all knew what I grabbed, y'all would laugh. But I grabbed my purse, or what I thought was my purse, and I ran into the basement, and I thought about grabbing my baby, but he's already safe. But he is, but he's eternally safe at this point. So, but I went to the basement, and that's when I went down there and I texted Mr. And he was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah. So he was at work, so I let him do his thing. Plus, I wasn't terrified or whatever. The worst At that point, the worst that would happen is that the house would be in rambles when it was over, right? So I stayed down there probably for 15 minutes. I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure how long to stay down there because I wasn't hearing the hail down there. And that's not, I don't know if that's normal, because it seems like when we understand thunderstorm warning or tornado warning and I go in the basement, it seems like I can hear the rain, you know what I mean? So I definitely should hear the hail, right? But I didn't hear it. But I also wasn't coming out until I saw the tumultuous red patch pass us on the radar. So the patch passed us on the radar, so I kind of peeked upstairs, and then the first thing I did was I went to the patio, see what was good. You know, that it had destroyed a couple of the smaller pots. I mean, it looked like it cut it open. It looked like it cut them open like a pie. And so I was like, okay, well, I can deal with that. And plus, it was just, you know, there were starter plants, starter pots. The plants hadn't even germinated. I mean, the seeds hadn't even germinated yet. So then I went to where I was when the storm started, and all the screens were flying like a flag. All the screens were tattered and torn and ripped and everything else. So I was like, okay, well, let me go see in the other rooms on this side of the house. Not a screen survived. So I was like, okay, well, I probably need to check some other stuff at this point. So I stepped out into the driveway, checked the paneling and the siding, and it was a mess. It was just destroyed. In fact, the address was knocked off of the house. Gutters were dented all the way up, looking like ostrich skin. There was roof damage. Basically, everything was fucked up. The soil looked like it had been through a shredder, which I'm not worried about, y'all, because what you know about the endurance of Mother Nature. They'll be fine in a week. It was just compounded upon, and I am not exaggerating, to the tune of, it's like the storm pinpointed our house. Do you hear me? They said the damage was just like on 3 blocks, and ours being the worst one, and our house being on the corner got the worst damage out of everybody. So Mother Nature just bitch slapped our house. Notice I didn't say our home. That can't be touched. So needless to say, there was a lot of excitement happening. People started coming out of their houses, which is what they do whenever we have a natural catastrophe. I think that's normal anyway. That's not unusual. I'm the unusual one because I will stay in my house, girl. We are not gonna bond over this. This don't make us friends. We the same. If you was a bitch before, you be a bitch now. And I totally understand coming together in emergencies. And if I'm able, I will be a part of that and aid in any way that I can. Which might be a problem because I need to be able to ask for help if I needed to. But I'm not comfortable with it. I don't have control over my s.a.d like that. Now I have it treated, obviously, to some of you. Nice. The lot is full, but somebody's coming out because that's what happens. That's one of my supernatural gifts, y'all. Is that the most random ass superpower in the world? Parking spaces. When I was young and everybody was carpooling to the mall to go get Christmas presents, everybody wanted me to ride with them. Other students were carpooling somewhere to an event and the parking was gonna be a mess. Everybody wanted me in their car. Everybody wanted me to ride with them. Because people think outlandish shit about the types of events that happen in my life. Unless it's someone that becomes a part of my life for any length of time, then they change their tune. When they first hear about certain things, they're like, oh, y'all doing the most. You know what I mean? You've been watching too much TV. and I get it. But people that have been around me, but people that become a direct part of my life and watch it, the very people that spent the whole first part of our relationship saying, no, I don't know about that one. I don't try to convince anybody of anything, but let them stick around for any length of time. But nobody ever apologizes afterward. Nobody apologizes and says, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, because I thought you was talking crazy. They don't say that. And something abnormal happens. After a while, it's just like, you know, that's how it goes with her. It's something with her. I don't know what it is, but it's otherworldly, whatever it is. So they can accept it after they experience it for years and years. And this goes all the way down to Mr., my sisters, my parents, my direct family. Because I think my parents, and they still didn't discuss it officially, but I think I was probably between 12 and 14 before my parents realized that I really was different. The only person that knew probably from birth is my uncle and my aunt that knew from the time they laid their human eyes on me in this physical world that there was something else. But anywho, yeah, so let me get my nails done. Anyway, I'll holler at y'all. Yeah, I need to go by the grocery store, but I'm not gonna do it.
Did you know that Stevie Wonder is getting married again? June 17th in Jamaica. Congratulations.
Really? Congratulations, Stevie.
By the way, I just misspoke.
Dang.
And I apologize. Obviously, we know Charlie Murphy passed away yesterday. Charlie Murphy, not Wilson. Charlie Murphy. Do you hear me? I apologize.
Joe.
I apologize. Rico?
Okay, I forgive you.
Okay. Just want to be clear. Charlie Murphy passed away.
At least you owned it, unlike most people
Not my Uncle Charlie.
who won't own making a simple mistake. Whoa, lady.
Charlie.
I need to go to the grocery store, but I'm not gonna do it. I go tomorrow. Seriously. I'll go tomorrow and I'll even be cute when I go. Be that cruel to you. I know, don't be cruel. Boy, you need to change your attitude. Be cruel. With this attitude, I was being good to you. Out at night. Hey, that ain't right. You won't even toast. She ain't got a toast. How about if you take note that she won't toast and don't fuck with her? Cause she ain't shit for what you want in your life. No, you want to keep trying to get that bitch to toast. You won't even toast, man. I'm not thrilled about this nail job. It looks bulky. It looks thick and bulky. Y'all know I don't like it when it looks like old school homemade Elmer's press-on nails. You old with me if you remember that. If you remember Elmer's press-on nails, holla if you hear me. You get your little glob of glue and you let it semi-dry for the most part, and then you spread it out over the top of your nails. Incidentally, the storm chasers are still running them up. Storm chasers and the neighbors. Because now they want to be affiliated with the person that has the house that got the worst damage. You know, just a thirst for popularity. Why? Then what? You gonna try to make them think that we know each other? We don't go together. I don't even like you. But you want other people to think we do. Speaking of, storm chaser truck. We passing each other right now. There it goes. That maroon truck. Oh. You look so much better when you're oh. You look so much better when you're oh. You look so much better when you're oh. You look so much better when you smile. You look so much better when you're oh. You look so much better when you're oh. Then don't look at me when I'm not doing what you think is smiling, bitch. Maybe I am smiling and you don't approve of my smile. And guess what? I didn't check with you before I left the house to make sure my smile was okay for you. You're micromanaging other people's emotion ass bitch. Yeah, I said it.